Good morning, North Coast. It is Rise and Shine time on our Monday edition of GMNC. My name is Ange and I will be your anchor this morning. As always, we promise to deliver a jam-packed lineup, starting with Claudia Greenwood, who heads up our Daily Inspiration segment for today. Neville and Helen had a motor vehicle breakdown last night, so sadly cannot be in studio with us this morning, but we are happy to bring you one of our previous interviews with them. For all the men out there, get comfortable and stay tuned because it is power sport and all-terrain machine conversations up next with Yolanda from Pinnacle Sports, who have just recently set up shop in Belvista Centre close to our studios. Our last guest interview for today is with Barry Campbell from the Ilembe Surf Riders Association, and we look forward to chatting to him about his involvement as well as his recent gold won at the SA Masters Champs. Sport fans, get ready to hear the results and the news from the weekend sporting world with Matt Williams, followed by the weather and surf report with Heili Uys Deon Bosman from Victory Surf. And then Xander Jourbert closes us out this morning with his music video, Jy Oortref My. Thank you to Performance Coffee, authorized dealer for Euro coffee machines, and Salt Rock Coffee as our morning show coffee sponsors. But let's not waste any more time, get comfortable and enjoy the show with us. Over to you, Claudia.
Hi,
Claudia. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Good.
It's so lovely to have warm weather. Everything feels bright and sunny, and we're just happy.
Fantastic, yes. Good vibrations.
It is, exactly, and I think that's what you said you were talking about today.
That's exactly what we're talking about today. You know, start off the week with good, positive vibrations. But you know, I find that we often use these words, good vibrations or a vibe or what have you, just loosely, you know, and what does it actually mean? It's actually something very powerful. According to Albert Einstein, everything's energy, isn't it? Okay.
It's the atoms in the body that keeps moving, that projects an energy.
Absolutely, and everything's energy. So when we say start the week with good vibrations or have good vibrations within you, what is that? That's energy within us. And I want to just spend a little bit of time just to enlighten the viewers out there, because it's a bit of a misunderstood phenomenon, this. So vibration is basically energy, okay? It comes from the energy that we're emitting in our bodies, which is connected to our emotions. All right, so whatever emotion we feel, be it a good, positive emotion like happiness and acceptance and hope and all of those kinds of things, when we feel hopeful and when we are in that kind of happy mood, we project a positive vibration. When we are feeling fearful, or we are going through a phase of guilt, or we feel anxious, those are low vibrations, okay? And they're actually measured in hertz.
That's amazing.
It's actually quite phenomenal. So when we are at a low vibration, life is hard.
Yes.
We actually feel like, you know what, we're sluggish, things are difficult, we actually feel small, okay? And life, we've got to actually force ourselves to do things.
Yes.
All right. When we are in a vibrational state of positive vibrational state, we literally have that inner power where things become easy and light. And we might feel like, gee, you know what, we're bouncing around and
that's amazing, because that's the higher energy we're talking about.
Exactly.
It's just naturally that way of being more positive and being more active and being willing to do something.
Yes, for sure. So let's just use fear. I mean, a lot of people are talking about they're scared, they're afraid, there's fear of, I don't know, maybe failure, fear of the unknown, uncertainty, they're scared to be judged, so they don't take decisions or do things or be themselves. Fear is, the vibrational level is 100 hertz. It's literally measured, okay? And this is the work of Dr. David Hawkins. So if anybody's interested to go and look into it a little bit further, he's got lots of bestsellers published on this topic. But so fear is at 100 hertz, and our percentage of happiness is only 10% when you are vibrating at that level.
Really? That's unbelievable.
Okay. Now, where this whole thing turns is when we get to the level of courage.
Yes.
When we feel like, you know what, there is hope, I can do things. But and that's a choice.
It's a choice. It's a
All
proactive choice.
Suddenly, your vibrational level goes from 100 to 200 hertz. And your level of happiness goes up to 55%.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so what I encourage people to do is just understand this, first of all, that this stuff is real. Whether you believe it or not, you can argue it as much as you like. It's there, it's out there, you're vibrating at that level. So, you know, sometimes you just go into a place and you say, oh, there's a good vibe here. Okay, we talk like that, but this vibe is real. Okay, and we're emitting that. So if the more we are at a lower vibration, we're emitting that vibe, and that attracts the same sort of vibration. That's why you find that people that are similar will actually just pull together.
Yes.
Because they have that similar vibe.
Energy. The law of attraction, what it comes down to.
That's it. So if your energy is low, you're going to attract people who are at that level of vibration. You attract things that are lower level. Life is hard. You resonate with other people that also can connect with you, and then you get caught up in negativity. So what we need to do to switch that is work towards letting go of things that are holding us back. And a lot of it's got to do with our thoughts and our beliefs. So if we feel like, oh, well, you know, I might be judged, so I'm not going to do that because what will people say about me? Okay, that's fear. And fear is going to keep you at that low vibration. Life is hard. So when you actually can switch yourself, it starts actually with acknowledging. So acknowledge that, you know what, I'm often thinking about what am I scared of? You know, maybe I am going to be judged, I have fear of failure, all of those kinds of things. When you know that you are talking to yourself like that and you're experiencing a lot of that, then you can start letting go of that. And work towards, it comes, first of all, acknowledgement. Yes, I've got this issue. I am caught up in this. Secondly, start changing the way you speak.
Self-talk.
Self-talk, okay. And start going into positive talk, like, I can do this. I can try something new. I can be me. I can embrace a different way of thinking. All right? I can seek help if I need it. I can look up, what does this actually mean? How do I let go of these thoughts and things that I'm consumed with? It's I can.
And the good news is you can. The good news is there's no excuse at the end of the day. You know, people say, yeah, but, you know, I struggle with this. There's always a way out. You know, and it's small little steps, and it doesn't have to be these big leaps all the time. You know, you wake up the next morning and everything's solved. It's little victories at a time that you conquer, and before you know it, it's a big problem that's all of a sudden now just a little problem.
Yeah, of course. And it takes those little baby steps, but do it. And every time you say, I can, it raises your vibration. Okay, because you're actually switching your emotional state. You're feeling more empowered. And with empowerment comes action. All right, so it's not just about talking. You know, people think, okay, if you want to attract good things in your life, just say all these positive things. You need to feel it.
Absolutely.
Okay, the vibration is in the feeling, not just in the head of, okay, you know, just visualize these things. That's part of it. But the actual attraction is within that feeling that you actually sensing and putting out there to the world. You're going to attract those, and you become attractive to other people.
You do. You become likable.
Yes.
And it's almost like the visualization is the beginning part, because your head starts and that filters through to the emotion and the action eventually. So it's almost like the brain first needs to connect with the heart and the soul before you can start acting, and that's where the positivity comes from. And I think the nice thing is once the positivity is there, you'll find it gets easier, because the more energy you have, the more positive you become, the more energy you have, the more proactive and successful you become at the end of the day.
So a tip with visualization and high vibration, raising vibration, is that when you visualize something that you want to achieve, or you know, it's something you want to achieve, with that visualization, feel the feeling that you would feel if that were real, because you're making it real.
Absolutely.
And that's that vibration that you're raising. Now, it doesn't mean that you'll never feel fear again or anxiety, because with fear comes anxiety, and then you stop and you don't move forward. Of course, we'll feel it. We're human beings, and we're designed like that to feel these emotions. But the less or the quicker we can recover from that fear, because we can acknowledge it, we know it, we understand it, and we say, oh, hang on, you know what? I need to change my thinking. I can do this. What can I do rather than what I can't do? Okay, so stuff's happening. Well, those things I can't control, but I can control my decision,
Absolutely.
and move forward that way. And that's very powerful. So what I'd like to just encourage people to do is become aware of what emotion you're caught up with most of the time, what negative talk you consumed with, and switch to I can. What can I do? And then go and do it.
Yeah.
It's not just, you know, sit there and say, okay, I can do this.
Yes.
Okay, but now I'm going to sit on my couch and just wait for something to happen. It doesn't
Won't
work like
happen.
that.
I wish it did.
All right. So let's remember, positive vibration attracts positivity, and automatically your life switches. Your whole persona changes.
That is powerful information. Thank you so much, Claudia. That is great stuff, and I hope our viewers takes that with them, because that's something that they will carry through for the rest of their lives. Thank you so much. I think we'll see you later in the week.
Yes. Thanks, Ange.
Thank you so much. We just want to say thank you to all our live viewers with us, Cindy Brunt and Samantha Cunning. Great to have you join us. We're going into a quick ad break, and then we will be tuning into a pre-recorded interview with Neville and Helen. Stay tuned.
Network Collections was established in 2016 with a management team that has over 40 years experience in recovery. With processes that are unique, it is no secret that Network Collections outperforms our competitors. We have a national footprint, and due to our contingency basis, that means no risk to you. You need to ask the question, why have you not contacted us already? Using our national footprint combined with TT1 as well as TT3 transactions on the DebiCheck platform, we achieve consistent payments within 60 days from handover. All handovers are electronic and no paperwork is required. Our relationship-driven approach allows for a reduced cost solution that rehabilitates and activates one of your business' biggest assets, your debtors book. With more than 500 agents countrywide, the methodology of personal contact with debtors rather than phoning or forcing approach, it is no wonder our success rate is above the rest. Our drive is to take your debtors book and turn your loss into a profit. We are affiliated with MFSA, ADRA and the Council for Debt Collectors. With our national footprint, no debtors book is too big or too small. Allow us to activate your debtors book and turn your loss into a profit.
Welcome back to GMNC, and with me right now I have Neville and Helen from Ndondo Reptile Park. Morning guys, how are you?
Hey, good, and yourself?
Good, good, great to have you back with us. And
Yeah.
I see you brought some friends with you.
Yeah, but we're just going to chat a little bit about them before we get into the nitty-gritty and actually take them out.
Okay.
First of all, last week's show was a great hit. A lot of criticism from it.
Really?
And I just want to put a disclaimer out there for the keyboard warriors that this is a 10-minute slot.
Yes.
Our target audience is the layperson.
Okay.
And I'm not going to get into the high scientific stuff on this sort of slot. Today we speak about black snakes.
Okay.
Black, any color is a perspective.
Okay.
Right, so if you look at a green in certain lighting, it may look a dark green. When you put it in other lighting, it looks light green, and so on. So please understand the black term is something that can be discussed really. And then yeah, there's matte black, there's glossy black, very black, not so black,
Don't have to get technical.
and all that. But your general South African, when you talk about a black snake, it's either a mole snake or it's a black mamba.
Okay, yes, of
You,
course,
you
yeah.
know, and those are the two choices. But we do have a number of species of truly black snakes. Mole snakes are only really black in the Southern Cape.
Okay.
And everywhere else they sort of biscuity to salmony color. And black mambas aren't black anywhere in the world. And
Really?
So no, they're not. They're a dark grey, gunmetal color. Most small black snakes can be discounted. We see a black snake and immediately, oh, it's a baby black mamba. No, baby black mamba is twice the size when it comes out of the egg,
Okay.
and it's not black. And or it's a mole snake, and no, we don't get mole snakes here in coastal KZN.
Okay.
So it's not a mole snake either. But we do have a rather dangerous little shiny, innocuous little black snake that comes out when there's a lot of rain, the stiletto snake.
Okay.
Responsible probably for the highest incidence of snake bites
Okay.
in South Africa. Although you won't see it recognized as such simply because it doesn't require antivenom,
Oh, okay.
right? Or rather, it should require antivenom, but they don't produce an antivenom for it.
So what is the consequences?
The consequences are with an incorrect first aid treatment and so on, and that's unfortunately where most of the problems lie. You could get a finger amputated and so on. Bites are 95% on hands because people see this little shiny snake and
they wanna
oh, look,
pick
it's
it
a
up.
mole snake,
Okay.
and they pick it up.
Okay.
And he's a little guy, sticks a fang out the side of his mouth and jabs left and right. If you think you're going to hold it behind the head and it's harmless, you're aiming for a fang in the thumb and in the forefinger.
Oh my goodness.
As quick as a flash. Before you can drop it, both fingers have had it.
Okay.
And that's it.
Do you get those in KZN?
Yeah.
Okay. So moral of the story, don't touch the black snake.
Do not touch him. If you don't know what it is, do not touch it.
Okay.
That's the moral.
Okay.
But on the other hand, we have a number of little black snakes that are absolutely harmless, great gardeners' friends, and people unfortunately think, oh, it's a stiletto snake, and they just murder the poor guy without consequence.
Okay.
So we're just going to chat about two. We brought two specimens along,
All right.
and I'm going to hand them to you.
Yay.
Or Helen's going to
Get
hand
hold
them to you.
again. Woohoo.
So this little guy is a wolf snake, and he's actually a very dark brown
Okay.
rather than black. And they've got these beautiful little side scales with a black edging on them. It actually makes it look like he's got lighter flecks along the side.
Yeah.
But most people being tall, and this snake being on the ground, will see it from the top.
Okay.
And if your lighting isn't great, it looks like a shiny little black snake.
Yes, it does.
And
yeah.
oh, it's a mole snake, we can pick this up. And that's perfectly fine. But a stiletto seen in the same light and from the same perspective will look identical to this.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so
And how big does this one get? Is this a
not
baby?
too much bigger than what it is. You know, but like with all animals, there's always individuals that don't listen to the guidelines. I mean, you can walk down the road and suddenly, hang on a minute, here's a 7'6" oak in front of you. You know, where did he come from? When the sort of general oak around you is happy if he's touching the six foot mark.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so it's an individual thing, really.
He's a fidgety one.
Yeah, we find that most of these little black snakes behave very much the same way.
Okay.
And yeah,
You mentioned, and it was something very interesting, and I think something the audience can benefit from. You mentioned, I think the last time I spoke to you in one of the conversations, that they can actually smell your fear.
yeah.
And that's when they really get. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and how that works?
Well, adrenaline is a byproduct of any emotional change in your body. And one of the byproducts of adrenaline is lactic acid.
Okay.
And lactic acid is secreted through the palms of your hands.
Yes.
And we've got someone who's going to be speaking on dogs later.
Yes.
And the whole thing is that dogs smell your fear, and if they smell you scared of them, they're going to go for you, and so on. Again, it's that thing. It's just drawing a general perception that the dog's going to go for you. It's the same as a snake; it's going to bite you.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't like to play on that. But they are as aware. They are as aware of changes in our emotional state
Yes.
as what we are.
That's phenomenal.
You know. And it's all through that little lactic acid signal that we secrete.
Yes. That's incredible. I see you've brought another one. Obviously, that's a bangle.
Yes,
at the
this is
That's amazing.
this is a snake that could get a lot bigger. The olive ground snake used to be known as an olive house snake,
Okay.
but it's been reclassified.
All right.
Was in with the house snakes. Now they've shoveled in with the water snakes. So,
Okay.
but that might even yet change.
Okay.
So this guy's, depending on where you find him in the Cape, they're the most beautiful green color. Here on the KZN coast, for years we also knew them as black house snakes.
Yes. Yeah.
You know. Yeah, it's a male, so it might misbehave.
Yeah. No. Clearly,
Right.
it's very active.
Um,
Woo.
yeah.
I think it's. Oh, my word is in my shirt.
Oopsie. It's a great thing that Helen came with because
Okay. Hold on to that one. Yeah.
yeah.
And also not dangerous at all. Hey?
Yeah,
Nothing to be
perfectly
scared of.
harmless snake. In certain areas, they're very, very bitey. In other areas, you can literally stand on them and you won't bite. You know?
Okay.
So it's quite a wide swing of characteristical behavior on them. The ones from Ishawi tend to be very bitey and very readily eat other snakes. Whereas our coastal ones here very rarely eat other snakes and very rarely bite.
Okay.
So they are quite different. But to throw into the mix, we've got the purple gloss snake as
Yes.
well.
Okay.
And we've also got the Natal black snake. And both these snakes feed, I don't want to say exclusively, but a high percentage of their food is other snakes.
Oh wow.
And so as far as the gardener is concerned,
Yes.
this is a plus because
Of
gardeners
course,
are just
yes.
notorious for not wanting to run into snakes,
Yes, of course.
especially when they start sticking their hands in under shrubs and things.
Okay.
And those are great snakes to have around, and so they keep the population of other snakes at bay.
Yeah.
And because they themselves live under the ground, you very rarely see them.
Yes. So just in closing, really is, I think it comes, of course, they all look so similar. I mean, even if I had to look at these two, if there's a little bit of a shadow or they're in a corner, I won't be able to tell the difference. And like you say, it could easily be confused with one of the more dangerous ones. So I think for the viewers, just rather not, just never use your hands, rather, you know, use a stick or I don't know, how do you
Use your cell phone.
use a cell phone?
And then in the earlier years, people would ask me, how do I deal with it? With your cell phone. How do you catch a snake with your cell phone?
You
You
call
take a
Neville.
photograph, you send it to me.
Here we go.
And if I need to, phone me and I'll come and get it.
Of
You know,
course,
that's the
course.
safest way of doing it.
Yes, no, of course, but don't touch. I think it just
Yeah,
comes to
don't touch.
Just be
It's
careful.
like
At
electricity.
least you really know what you're talking about. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It was great having you with us again. And to our viewers, absolutely go and have a look at Ndlondo Reptile Park at Sugar Rush. It's absolutely phenomenal, great for the kids, very educational. But we're heading into a quick ad break, and then we will be chatting to Carl Jett Smith from Tales of Hope. Stay tuned.
I'm Monet.
I'm Mandy,
I'm Devin.
and we are
Ballito TV.
We are a streaming channel showcasing content-rich programming that appeals to a wide audience.
Ballito TV officially launched on the 1st of February 2021 and has already attracted over 500,000 viewers worldwide.
Viewers are able to select their preferred device and way in which to watch Ballito TV, either live on our Facebook page, our website, YouTube channel, or by downloading our app free from the Play Store.
Best of all, if you've missed one of our shows, catch up at your own convenience by visiting our catch-up platform on our website and our app.
Ballito TV offers a variety of advertising from as little as 1,000 Rand. So the misconception that advertising through this medium is out of reach for most businesses is totally incorrect.
Get in touch today by emailing hello@ballito.tv or send your name and details to our WhatsApp line on 066 232 1385 and we will give you a call.
Welcome back to GMNC and welcome to Tracy and Vigi who have just joined us live on our live stream. Right now I have Frans and Yolanda from Pinnacle Equipment with me. Welcome guys.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
How are you guys?
Very well,
Thank
and
you.
you?
How are you?
I heard you are brand new in Ballito. It's only been, what, 6 months?
Yeah,
How are you
going
finding
for
our
our
little
6th
town?
month. Now we're enjoying it a lot.
Beautiful,
Now
isn't it?
People are friendly, people are welcoming. Now we're enjoying it a lot.
Definitely.
Guys, obviously we're here to talk about Pinnacle Equipment. Won't you tell us a little bit more about what is Pinnacle Equipment, who or what is it?
Yeah. Pinnacle Equipment is a bike shop. We provide sales, services, equipment
Okay.
to the public in the various kind of facets of the biking industry.
Okay.
We start at a young age. We have customers as small as 2 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do electric cars, small for the kids, electric cars, bikes, and toys actually for the kids. Then move over to the two-stroke bikes,
Okay.
50cc two-strokes,
Yes.
quad bikes, and then from there onwards up to the commuter, the school scholars and
Yes,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and then the delivery bikes, and then from there upwards we service and supply equipment to the broad base biking
That is-
community, where we start with dealer bikes, we
Okay.
have road bikes, we have cruisers, we have Harley Davidsons and all that kind of stuff, where we service these guys and we can supply them anything they need in Ballito, with starting from tires to oils and batteries and levers and cables and anything that they need.
So it really is a one-stop shop. Person comes in for yourself and your
We-
whole family. You
Yes.
cater for it all.
We definitely try to supply and the whole community what that, from like I say, from the kids up to the old bikers. where
We
they
won't
can-
give it up.
Whatever, they won't
They're
give it up.
committed.
That's it.
You know, it's so nice because I mean, especially in Ballito, because we are very much a family-orientated city. And I think, you know, the kids and the parents and the husbands and the wives, they just love to do stuff together. And that's what I love about you guys. I was speaking to Yolanda a little bit earlier, and she's also on the bikes.
Yes.
Yolanda, how do you find it as a woman? Because, you know, a lot of times we think it's a man's world, and that's where it stays. How do you finding this industry and being part of it? What are the benefits to that?
You know what? I also always saw it as a community that only guys are into. And I think there's a stigma around that because people call the ladies the biker chicks. And then they expect you to be a certain type of chick. But you know, there's different types of people, all types of people actually, that are involved in the biking.
Of course.
The men expect a lady to behave in a certain way, and you can still be a lady and a
ride
biker.
bike. Absolutely.
So I would love to give out that good vibes we earlier heard about,
The energies.
and just give out that vibes to the ladies coming into our shop as well.
Yes.
Not feeling as if they are in a man's world. They must feel welcome. I try to give that woman's touch in the shop,
Yes,
make it feel homey,
of course.
and still have the bike shop feel,
Absolutely.
but also the feminine touch to it.
That is amazing.
So, yeah, that's
Phenomenal.
that's what I'm trying to do, and I enjoy it a lot.
That
Men,
is awesome.
men are getting used to women
They are.
being
I mean, it's-
involved in biking. Yes.
Women are very much, you know,
Yeah,
infiltrating
definitely.
all industries out there at the moment. So, and I think as a couple sport, it's phenomenal. You know,
Absolutely.
it's horrible when the men always go around, you know, alone. And if you're a couple and you love to do stuff together, I think, and you're adventurous and you love, you know, the adrenaline rushes,
Yeah,
and you know, it's such
Yeah.
a great sport. Absolutely.
Yeah, and
And
there's
it
so
doesn't have
many-
to be that dangerous either.
Not at all. You can actually enjoy it and still be safe. There's a lot of women that comes to the shop with their husbands that's scared of the bikes. They are not. They have never ever given it the chance of experiencing the biking because
yeah.
of the fear of falling or it
Of
being
course.
dangerous.
Yes.
But you can still enjoy it. There's so many different options you can choose from. It doesn't have to be that high speed that the men are used to.
Of
You can
course.
have your own bike and just ride
For the fun of it.
safely and for the fun, and just be there.
Enjoy
Just
nature.
enjoy it as a family together with your kids, and yeah.
Perfect. Tell us a little bit more about, you've got a park and sell service that you guys offer at your
Yeah.
shop. What is that about?
We offer the guys an opportunity to, if the guy is not happy or feels safe about the social media environment of selling a bike, because you sit with a
Yes,
bike.
you do.
Some of the guys are not sitting with one bike, they sit with
Couple.
a couple of bikes and they want to get rid of their bike. We have the opportunity, we have people, customers looking for different kind of bikes, and we give them the opportunity to bring their bike and put it on the floor, and we will sell the bike on their behalf. And they are actually in control of the sale. They can come and have a look at their bike every now and then. We don't ride with the bike, we don't give test demo rides to the customers. They can come and have a look. And it gives an opportunity for the customer to actually get a little bit more value for his bike when he parks the bike there, where if you put it into the market or you want to do a trade-in or something like that, in that market, if you will know if you do a trade, the guy that buy the bike don't want to give you the price that you want to.
No.
And in this arena, you give the guy the opportunity to put his price that he actually wants on the bike, on the floor.
Okay.
So that gives the guy a better value return
Absolutely, yeah.
that the guy can get for his bike. Yeah, and we don't have we have limited space. So we have people bringing in there from scooters to four-wheelers to dueler bikes to sports bikes and everything. So it gives the guy the opportunity to sell the bike not in the open area, but
Yes.
in his hands.
In a facilitated
Yeah.
environment as well. And it also, you benefit from it because, you put your bike on, I don't know, whatever platforms, whether it's Gumtree or social media or what,
Yeah.
and you have people calling you all the time, and you have
Yeah.
to make appointments and make sure you get there. Where this is
Yeah.
nice, it's at a shop, it's at a professional,
Yeah.
kind of institution where you guys are there, and the guys can get assistance and
Yeah,
look at it.
and they can come and have a look at their bike at any time, see if their bike is still there, and on social media, you don't know, are you going to get your money? How's the deal going to be structured? So it's an open book
That is
where the guy can be comfortable with his equipment on our
Yes.
floor.
great. Frans, there's a little off-road machine standing in the bottom there.
Yeah.
What is that? Tell us more about that.
You're talking about the side-by-side? Yeah. We are an agent for the Varu.
Okay.
It's a side-by-side vehicle.
Okay.
It's actually basically for an off-road, it's an off-road vehicle.
Yes.
You get it in a two-seater,
Okay.
or you can get it in a four-seater. And you have different size engines that you can put into the vehicles.
Yes.
As all of them are 4x4, so you can actually use it for racing. You can use it for adventure over the weekend. The facility for 4x4 is absolutely fantastic. You can do two-wheel drive, you can do four-wheel drive. It has a facility for diff lock front, back. Has a winch in the front, it has a tow bar at the back. So it's an absolute play, it's a toy.
Is that your toy, Yolanda?
Actually, that's where the biker chick part comes in that I was referring to earlier. I'm also involved in that side by side. So I think that's the perfect vehicle
Absolutely.
for families for ladies to get the feel of biking, but not biking.
Exactly.
They can go with their husbands, they can go with their children.
And have just
they
as much fun
and
in the
it's safe.
process.
It's
Exactly.
safe.
And the other thing is also when you have a quad bike, it's always difficult to have a pillion on a quad bike because the terrain that you use makes it difficult. But in this vehicle, you actually have two people enjoying the adventure that you have, going into the mountains, through the rivers, around pivots, wherever you can do racing, you can go on the beach wherever you can do it. So
what a great product.
Yeah.
Guys, if our viewers want to get hold of you guys and know what's in store, what you have available, what are your platforms? Where can they find you?
We're on Facebook. You will
Okay.
find us on Facebook at Pinnacle, KZN.
Okay.
And we try and advertise whatever the park can sell specifically. As the bikes come in, we will
Okay.
just advertise the new stock. So you can look on Facebook for that. We're also on Instagram. You'll find us on Instagram. There we always try and sell the products and just whatever is new in the shop, and the different services that we can apply to the bikes. And that is I think that is the best way.
Way
And
to get
Marketplace on Facebook as well. That's a
Absolutely.
good platform for us to use, yeah.
And I know you guys are based right here in Belvista Centre at the bottom of
Yes.
Ballito. What are your operating hours?
We are here Monday to Saturday.
Okay.
Mondays to Fridays we will be there from 8 to 5.
Perfect.
On Saturdays until 1 o'clock.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, really, it's definitely a bike shop with a difference.
Definitely.
Caters for the whole family, a wide variety of products and services. It was great meeting you guys, and we wish
Thank
you all
you.
the best
Thank you very
here in
much.
Ballito.
Thank you.
We'll definitely see you guys around. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We're going into a quick ad break, and then we will be chatting to Barry Campbell. Stay tuned.
Ballito. I'm Tanya. I'm the lady from So It Seems, Benina in Ballito. You can find us in Richard Park, right across from the Hirsch. The new shop. It's 3 times bigger than the old shop. We have lots more fabric, a lot more haberdashery items. If you can't sew, I will teach you how to sew. I have an additional teacher that helps us sew, and we have a fabulous space upstairs. Looking for a Benina machine or a Bennett? I will sort you out with that one. In this little area, we do everything. We service the sewing machine, we service the overlocker. We fix it up for you. Within a week, you'll have it back. While you go through the pattern books, we have a coffee shop in-house called Buttonless Coffee. You can have a coffee or a snack to eat while you do your pattern searching, fabric searching, or sewing upstairs with us. See you soon!
Welcome back to GMNC. With me right now, I have Barry Campbell from the Ilembe Surf Riders Association. Barry, great to have you with us this morning.
Thanks, Ange. So excited to be here. Really, really exciting. And
Awesome.
so nice to see this setup.
It's phenomenal, hey?
Phenomenal. Absolutely impressed.
Barry, firstly, a huge congratulations. You've just won gold, I think 2 golds for the longboard and the surfboard at the SA Masters Champs. That is quite an achievement. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah,
firstly, tell us a bit more about yourself. Who is Barry and how did you end up in the surfing arena?
You know, so interesting. I've surfed all my life. My dad was a body surfer, and he took me into the sea at North Beach as a kid. So started surfing competitively fairly young. I had a car accident. I was set back for a while with a broken femur. But then got into it, I think in 1973, I surfed my first Gunston 500. Yes. My friends laughed at me for entering, and I went straight into a loser round and out. But in 1974, I came back and I actually had quite a good result, and I got into surfing the monthly contest. So as a kid, I grew into the competitive side of surfing, loved that, but also loved free surfing. So 1981, I went to Hawaii in 1978, representing South Africa, captained the Springbok side in 81, had a great career, saw a lot of the world, surfed different places, met phenomenal people. So a great life through surfing. My career then took me to Johannesburg. I spent 10 years. I love my corporate world. I love the company that I work for, and have a great life. But then moved back to the coast here about 11 years ago in Ballito, and have loved surfing ever since. So free surfing and competitive surfing. And I think we are going to talk a little bit about Ilembe later, but getting involved with the development juniors and the Ilembe Surf Riders Association. So that's me in a
so
quick nutshell.
you've always been part of your blood, hey?
Love the water, love helping people, love coaching people, and getting people involved in the sport. It's such a fantastic sport, and it, you know, for me at 64, still to be able to surf and carry on surfing, and the excitement it brings into my life, and keeps me fit and on track, and able to do a good day's work in a corporate job. It's great.
Hectic. 64, that's unbelievable. You must let us know what the recipe is for that one. Barry, the SA Masters Champs, what is that competition about? Where is it held? When did it begin?
An annual contest. It varies in location from the Cape to KZN. This year it was at Victoria Bay. Beautiful part of the world, but exceptionally cold. And interesting, with COVID delays, they had the longboard champs the following week at Jeffreys Bay. So we had Victoria Bay, a week of shortboard surfing champs, followed by, it was quite a physical experience, but it was great. You know, us warm water people don't cope that well in those really cold water. Victoria Bay was really icy cold. It's in a valley, but we had, as the team, a fantastic team spirit. We had a lovely house right on the point. You could have your coffee in the morning and watch the surfing. Bianca Buitendak, our silver medalist, was there, and she was an ambassador for the region and handed out our gold medals at the end. So a real privilege to get a gold medal awarded by her at the so The shortboarding is very high performance surfboards.
Okay.
It's what the young kids are riding. It's what the World Tour guys are riding. And that was really competitive, fiercely competitive. And I was really pleased to win. And in fact, listening to Claudia earlier, the mental approach, that's so big in my mind. And I think through the corporate work that I do, I've learned quite a lot about the mental approach.
Okay.
And I really did apply it. Lots of visualization, different approaches that are all based on your belief in yourself.
Of course.
And that really did help me. As a kid, I got into lots of finals, but never always won. And I think that's the difference. Into the future, I would like to be getting more involved in coaching and coaching of kids. And Claudia really struck a chord with me with those positive energy and how to create and build that and how that creates the winning. Then we went on to longboards, which was at Jeffreys Bay, the best right-hand break in the world. And boy, did we have the best waves for a week. I mean, my arms were down by my ankles. I was exhausted at the end, but phenomenal surf and really, really a good competition. And I love the longboarding because it's very family orientated. You get fathers and daughters, mothers and sons competing. So my son was there. Campbell did really well. I saw lots of fathers in their final with their daughter in their respective, or their son in respective finals. So lovely family spirit, and it's just fun surfing. It keeps everybody involved. They've just created another division, which is 65 to 70. I surfed in the veterans, which is above 60. Now they have an older division. Interestingly, we had a winner from our region, which was Chris Morris.
Okay.
He's an ex-Springbok water polo player, very fit, but there was this nearly 70-year-old guy out there in these big waves, just charging, so well done to him. And then on the other scale, we had an under 16, Noah Grace Garnett, who was a novice contest and won the South African under 16 for Ilembe.
Wow.
So boy, Ilembe, go Ilembe,
proud.
Power. So a lovely, lovely event,
And that brings us obviously to your involvement in the Ilembe Surf Riders Association. What is your role there, and how does that work?
So really for me, just out of interest, and I've got more recently moved on to the committee. So what Ilembe is under the new SASCOC sports dispensation, we don't represent provinces anymore, we represent districts. And it's part of the sports. So we actually are affiliated to South African surfing, and that allows anybody from Ilembe ultimately to go into international surfing games or to Olympics, etc., onto the global stage. So we don't represent at the South African Championships KZN anymore. So for example, we will be Ilembe, which is North Coast, you'll have eThekwini, which is Central, and Ugu, which is South Coast. And instead of maybe in each category having 6 surfers from KZN, you'll have 2 from each region. And so it's a new association, it's the newest of the associations. The guys have done a phenomenal job, the committee members putting a constitution together. It's a non-profit organization, putting the word out there to sponsors. We do a lot of development. We work with Josh Chaplin with Small Steps in bringing people from previously disadvantaged backgrounds into the sport. And just for kids, for me, I'm very big on seeing the family platforms and how we can create those platforms and how those platforms then create successful children. So it's lovely to see the family involvements, and even from people from disadvantaged backgrounds. I went to the recent GROM Games. GROM is a surfing term for a kid or a young surfer, a new person, so you can be old and new, and you're a grommet. You become, so they called it the GROM Games, and I took our squadron off, and it was lovely to see families from those disadvantaged backgrounds rooting for their kids and supporting their kids, and the vibe that they brought. They were creating A-frames for their fellow competitors when they came out, and they were clapping them up the beach, and there was just a real energy. It was lovely to see. So that's what Ilembe does. We represent this region. We are looking for sponsors. I'm putting it out there that as an NPO you can get your tax breaks for it. Our main fundraiser is through an annual golf day, which we normally run in March. It's at the Mhlali Country Club. Last year, even with all the COVID limitations, it was fully subscribed. We had but I'm putting it out there too. Join us. It's a fun day, and it really does go to making sure. So within Ilembe, we have the Masters, which is the plus 30 category. We have the Open. So Open has been broken away, and it will be part of the Ballito Pro, which is now going to be run in December this year because of COVID delays. So there we have a phenomenally strong team. My son is captain, Guy Campbell. We have Shane Sykes, who is on the world tour at the moment and has just headed off to America. Yannick Vrundis, the local surf coach. So really we have Carl Steen. That is a world-class lineup just within those 4 or 5 guys. So 6 of them will be representing Ilembe at the South African Champs as part of the Ballito Festival. Fantastic. And then to me, where my real passion is with the juniors, and they're off at the end of September to the South African champion, junior South African champions at Jeffreys Bay, so hopefully they get good waves. And really nice to see the enthusiasm. That's the future of our sport is in those kids. And ultimately, when I'm finished my corporate job, I do see myself playing a role, and more of a role, and particularly in the mental development, because that's such a big part of what, the sport I was mentioning to you earlier. Yes. We're physically fit, and the guys have their skill levels, their physical fitness, but the real difference is the mental approach. Absolutely. And lots of coaching. There's no real coaching that happens in our sport around that. So
fantastic. It's so exciting to see, the support that there is for the sport, especially in our region, and it's phenomenal to see how everybody's pulling together and really the progression that's coming out of this. So thank you so much for joining us. I absolutely love your energy, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of you going forward. But we're going to go into this weather and surf report now with Heili and Deon. Stay tuned.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Ballito Gas and Braai. Ek hoop julle het net so lekker soos ons gebraai gister, die dat my stem so bietjie heus klink vanmôre. We have a high of 20 degrees and a low of 15 degrees. The real feel will be 19 degrees and the real feel shade 18 degrees. We have a south-southwesterly wind at 15 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 26 kilometers per hour. Also 65% chance of showers. The sunrise will be at 6:05 a.m. and the sunset at 5:43 p.m. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by 1018 Skryfbehoeftes and Deon Bosman from Victory Surf. See you tomorrow.
Morning Ballito, and welcome to Monday morning's beach report. And after all those cracker waves yesterday, I'm sure everybody has got their salt water on, but there's more waves today. It's Monday and offshore all day, light westerlies towards the middle of the day, and then by this afternoon it's going to be rainy and cool down quite a bit. Strong rain expected on Monday evening, so if you're wanting to get a surf, I would say around midday is the best. The bog and the main beach are looking really nice. Some lovely 2-meter peaks, some really good waves over the weekend and spilled into the Monday. So enjoy your Monday. There's definitely some surf out there. Go to your favorite beach. You will be rewarded. Enjoy your Monday. Have a great day.
Morning sports fans, let's kick it off with some football news, and more specifically the World Cup qualifiers in focus over the weekend as Italy broke the world record for the longest unbeaten run in international football with the goalless draw at Switzerland on Sunday, while Germany got their World Cup qualifying campaign back on track with a thrashing of Armenia 6-0. European champions Italy should have taken all 3 points, but Swiss goalkeeper Jan Sommer saved Jorginho's second half penalty. The draw, however, extended Mancini's side unbeaten run to 36 matches, breaking the previous mark shared by Brazil and Spain. Moving to some rugby news now, and the Colin Currie Cup semi-finals took place over the weekend, and the Tafellager Griquas scored a late try to cause a few nervous flutters among the Cell C Shark supporters, but in the end the Durbanites held on for a 28-24 semi-final win that sets up a second successive Colin Currie Cup final between them and the Vodacom Bulls in Pretoria. Although the Sharks deserved their win, which was mostly set up by their driving maul, their overall game wasn't good enough in a stop-start match to inspire much confidence in their chances of going to Loftus next weekend and turning around the results of the 2020 final, which took place 7 months ago. The Bulls secured their place in with a comprehensive and impressive 48-31 win over the DHL Western Province in Pretoria on Friday night. Moving to some international rugby, and the Castle Lager Championship match took place yesterday as All Blacks defeated Australia 38-21. Moving to some cricket news now, the Proteas had a magnificent century from Yaneman Malan, helped South Africa to level the 3-match one-day international series against Sri Lanka with a commanding 67 Duckworth-Lewis Stern victory at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo on Saturday. Malan's third ODI century of 121 helped the Proteas post a very competitive 283 for 6 after stand-in captain Keshav Maharaj had won the toss and decided to have first crack under damp conditions. The match had been reduced to 47 overs per side after early rain had delayed the start of play. In reply, scoreboard pressure allowed Tabraiz Shamsi to claim 5 for 49 as the hosts were bowled out for 197 in 36.4 overs in pursuit of a revised target of 265 in 41 overs after rain had interrupted play after 25 overs of the Sri Lankan innings. In other cricket headlines, England opener set up a thrilling fourth test, moving to the Tokyo Paralympics, and Lausanne Coetzee ensured South Africa had one last podium performance to celebrate before the Paralympic Games came to an end in Tokyo on Sunday, having already acclaimed silver in the T11 1500 meter for visually impaired runners. During the week, Coetzee took bronze in the T12 marathon with guide runner Klaus Kempken to bring the country's medal total to 7 at these games. Moving to some golf news now, Patrick Cantlay held off top-ranked John Rahm to win the US PGA Tour Championship on Sunday and claim a $15 million FedEx Cup playoff top prize. Cantlay two-putted for birdie at the par 5 18 to cap a 1 under par 69 that gave him a 21 under par total, one shot clear of Spain's Rahm, who made the second birdie at 2 under to 68, and the final hole to finish at 20 under par. Moving to some motorsport news now, and home favourite Max Verstappen snatched the World Championship lead from Lewis Hamilton on Sunday as the Red Bull driver produced a scintillating performance to win his first Dutch Grand Prix since 1985, or at the first Dutch Grand Prix since 1985. A week after the washout in Belgium, pole sitter Verstappen controlled the race from the start in bright sunshine at the circuit set in the coastal dunes of a beach resort of Zandvoort. His 7th win from 13 races this season turned a 3-point deficit into a 3-point lead over 7-time world champion Hamilton ahead of Monza coming up this weekend. Hamilton came in second, setting the fastest lap on the final lap to earn a consolation point, with Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas a distant third. And finally, in some tennis news, some good news for South African tennisers. South African Lloyd Harris reached the 4th round for the first time in his career on Saturday with a 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 win over Canadian Denis Shapovalov at the US Open. The 22-year-old Shapovalov, seeded 7th at the hardcourt major this year, came into Saturday's match at the Louis Armstrong Stadium, having lost their previous match in March. Since that, the Dubai meeting, the South African 24-year-old has made rapid strides in his career, defeating 20-time Grand Slam champion Rafa Nadal in Washington last month, and has climbed to a career-best ranking of 46th. I'm Matt Williams for Good Morning North Coast Sport. You have yourself an awesome sporting weekend, and we'll catch you back here on Friday. Back over to Ange.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our Good Morning North Coast show for today. Thank you again to all our guests and our viewers. We're closing off with a music showcase from Xander Jourbert, and then Laugh Out Larry for the young ones. Remember to tune in every weekday, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. We'll see you there.
Eerste keer op daai eerste nag het ek glad nie dit verwag, waar ons nou sou wees en waar ons gaan. Vir die eerste keer kan ek sê ek voel ons is vir mekaar bedoel. Dit het gebeur sing van jou pragt. Dit het gebeur sonder my en jou beheer. Dit het gebeur sonder my en jou beheer. Jy oortref my wete, hoe ek kyk, hoe ek voel en dink aan jou. Jy is alles wat ek wou hê en meer. Jy oortref my elke keer, sonder twyfel kan ek nou lewe. Net vir jou, net vir my, ons is bedoel. Vir mekaar leef ons saam, jy doen dit weer. Jy oortref my elke keer. 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 Jy oortref my wete, hoe ek kyk, hoe ek voel en dink aan jou. Jy is alles wat ek wou hê en meer. Jy oortref my elke keer.